Hey guys, welcome to today's video. I'm Sarah. This is No BS Beauty. Thank you for being with me today. Really quick, if you haven't, please subscribe if I brought a new value to you. Subscribe. I really want to hit 100,000 subscribers and get my gold plaque at some point, maybe. So please subscribe and check out my newsletter. Okay, for today, it's kind of a different type of video. I just find this interesting because a lot of skincare, my countertop is covered right now with skincare products. It usually is, but it's really bad right now. Our whole house is in disarray. We're remodeling our kitchen, so everything's a mess. But I always find this interesting because most of these products on my countertop, maybe not me specifically, but in general, for most people, their skincare products are going to be owned by a variety of about 5 or 6 brands. In general, the average person. Although a lot of you watching are probably not the average person per se. I'm just thinking about like my cousin or my aunt or my niece. In general, most brands are owned by a couple of big corporations. Estee Lauder, Shiseido, L'Oreal. But I thought I would talk about kbeauty brands because a lot of them are independent, and I just thought this was interesting to look up a few brands that I enjoy using and one that I really don't enjoy using, and who owns them. Because a lot of them I really like to mention ones that are owned by smaller brands. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Isnt Tree. I love them. They have a lot of great products, generally sensitive skin friendly and affordable and effective and efficient. Lots of great stuff to choose from this brand. And they're actually owned by Jinwoo Kim, which is a renowned Korean cosmetic blogger, and he decided to create his own brand. And he created Isnt Tree, and it's still owned by him. He's the CEO, and it looks like at this point it will remain an indie brand for quite some time. So I like supporting smaller indie brands as opposed to the giant conglomerations like Procter & Gamble, which probably owns a ton of brands, things like that. So I really like to support the smaller brands. So it makes me happy when I give money to a smaller brand. It just makes me feel better than a mega corporation or L'Oreal's, Nestle's involved. Nestle's kind of a messy company, things like that. So anyway, so that's the first one. Next up is Beauty of Joseon. I'm really loving some of their sunscreens. They've got a lot of really nice products. Beauty of Joseon was founded in 2016 by Sumin Lee, who was inspired by herbal remedies used in the Joseon dynasty and simplicity. And she founded this brand, and unfortunately, it did get successful. And it was purchased in 2019 by Good Eye Global, and I'm going to talk about them in a minute with one brand in between because they've done some things that I'm not really happy about. So I will get to that in 1 minute. But yeah, so if you've ever been to South Korea, we went this past winter. It was amazing, and there's a lot of museums and things and a lot of Joseon dynasty inspired buildings and things like that. So it's just amazing. There's a museum in there. And one of them had a layout of different cosmetics and how they became popular, and they had some brands I recognized. Laneige, yeah, that was the big one back then. So, okay, next up is KasRX. We all know KasRX. They're amazing. They were founded in 2013 by Junsang Jung, also spelled Sung Jung Sang, South Korean entrepreneur, I was going to say opportunist, entrepreneur with a background in cosmetics and retail. Before launching KasRX, he ran a small cosmetics shop and saw demand for just simple, effective, and affordable products, which kind of describes KasRX in and of itself. Simple, minimal marketing, packaging, simple, focused on acne-prone skin without a lot of fragrance or flashy packaging. Pretty much does describe KasRX in a nutshell. And yeah, so that kind of became their signature. In 2021, Amore Pacific became a 38.4% stakeholder in KasRX. And at that time, they left out a purchase for the remaining shares, an option to purchase the remaining shares. And they eventually did take advantage of that in October of 2023. Amore Pacific took control or took advantage of that option and purchased the remaining shares to take full control of the brand. Although when I looked at the percentages, it looks like there's still about 9 to 10% out there. It must still be owned by the founder, but yeah, Amore Pacific basically runs this one. They're a huge company. They own a lot of different brands now. So anyway, so yeah, so KasRX, we get it. Affordable, simple, lots of acne prone friendly products. Not lots of fragrances, pretty friendly. Okay, so next up is Tier. If you've watched my videos, you've probably heard me talking about this brand. Not in the most lovingly of terms. So Tier was founded in 2017. So just a year after Beauty of Joseon was founded by Lee Yoon Bin, which is a South Korean entrepreneur and a beauty influencer. The brand began with the mission to create cosmetics that restore the skin's natural, healthy glow. And in June 2023, 6 years later, Tier's founder and former CEO sold a 63.6% stake to a company called Hom Partners, which is just a private equity firm. And then they turned around and sold it in 2024 to Good Eye Global, and they acquired a controlling interest in Tier. Good Eye Global, if you recall, Beauty of Joseon, founded in 2016, then sold in 2019 by Good Eye Global. Same major owner as Tier. Tier. Some of you will know this, some of you might not, and it's good to know. So, if you see a lot of positive reviews of Tier, just have your antennas up, because Tier has done a lot of shady marketing type things, influencing things. So, in 2025, beauty influencer Michaela Nojura received an Hermes Birkin bag valued at approximately, get this, for a purse, a handbag, $30,000. It's worth $30,000 US dollars, this bag that they gave this influencer. And it was a gift for her viral review of the brand's cushion foundation, which, Ike has entered the room, which, if you are familiar with this cushion foundation, it really got a lot of reviews. It became very hyped. So this review made this person $30,000. I mean, so I'm a small YouTuber. Most of my videos get maybe 2,000 to 3,000 views within the first day or two. Summer is worse, but anyway. So those videos probably make $30, maybe. And maybe if somebody clicks on the affiliate link, it maybe makes 50 or 100. So to get paid $30,000 with a bag is a lot of money for one review. Interesting to note, after that, another influencer, Miss Darcy, who had previously criticized Tier's shade range of foundations, received a Chanel bag worth $7,000. This is bribery? Is this legal? I'm not sure. I think probably under the FTC rules in the U.S. this probably is not legal. But they're trying to buy these people's opinion and influence. So somebody said, your shade range isn't great. Shut up. We're going to give you a $7,000 purse, and we're going to make more shade ranges, but we're also giving you a $7,000 purse because we gave somebody else a $30,000 bag. I don't know. These things seem shady and just kind of gross to me. Especially when people that are watching don't know what's really going on. They just think these brands are suddenly this great thing. I don't know. Take it where, some people don't mind. It doesn't bother them. I get it. But some of this does seem sneaky and shady. So, anyway. And they also own Beauty of Joseon. So, it doesn't make me too excited about that brand. Thankfully, I'm loving this new sunscreen from Round Lab. Their Camellia Deep Firming Sun Serum. It's amazing. So, hopefully I can replace my Beauty of Joseon with that. I still like the brand, but when it's owned by somebody that has some sketchy interests, I don't like that. Next up is a brand, smaller brand, Cynic. I've talked about them a lot. This sunscreen's awesome. It's very dewy finish. It's really nice. They've got a lot of great stuff. Their retinoid cream, I just ordered this recently. Cynic was launched in 2004 by the founder and CEO, Kim Young-gu, she's actually a doctor. And she worked in research in pharmaceutical companies such as the Korea Institute of Science and Technology and the Korea Research Institute of Bioscience and Biotechnology. Sounds very intelligent. And the brand is currently independent and operates under the ownership of KRIB, the Korea Research Institute of Bioscience and Biotechnology. And it looks like the CEO is still the same. It's either a gal or a guy, odds are. So, yeah. So still smaller independent brand, but they have a lot of research abilities behind them. So I like that. Another brand that a lot of you have been hearing about lately, especially, is VT Cosmetics. Their Riedel Shot Serum is pretty popular. They have a lot of PDRN products. They initially launched in 2010 focusing on oral care products, which is now becoming a bigger thing now here, especially in the US. The brand later expanded into skincare and cosmetics, gaining popularity for innovative products like the Riedel Shot. And in 2021, VT Cosmetic co-founders purchased Cube Entertainment. And as of today, the brand is still run by its two founders, and they're running Cube Entertainment, which apparently is a big deal in Korea. So, yeah, when I was in Korea, I don't speak Korean, so I didn't really watch much Korean TV. Actually, I was so tired anyway by the end of the day. Okay, next up, Claire's or Dear Claire's. Somebody will always correct me on that, but Claire's, very popular brand that's owned by Wish Company. Claire's and Wish Company were founded in 2010 by Ryan Sumho Park. This person experienced sensitive skin and struggles with having fragrance in skincare that irritated him and inspired him to launch this brand that's simple and effective products. And interesting to note, since Claire's release, Wish Company has also founded several other brands such as I'm From, by Wish Trend, and Riri, and a lot of other smaller brands. But Claire's, at this point, well, I'm From is pretty big too. Wish Trend is smaller but getting bigger. So, but Claire's has a lot of great products. 3 more. Next up is Dr. Ciracle, which if you actually have been around in the skincare world for a while, you'll recognize it as Lee Ham or LGJ Cosmetics. So they started that in 2000, which was started by two dermatologists, Dr. Lee and Dr. Ham. So Lee Ham, it all makes sense. And in 2019, they rebranded to become Dr. Ciracle in a name that merges cosmeceutical and miracle to reflect its innovative approach to skincare. The brand also owns several patents, and it's still owned by its founders, along with a third party operating as their CEO. So co-founder doctors, they did a good job. It was a little confusing when they switched from Leagyham to Dr. Ciracle, but yeah, so this is their kombucha tea essence. It's amazing. It's definitely a fan favorite. Next up is Iunique, which is a brand still being run by its initial founder, Michelle Kim. She serves as the CEO of Iunique, launching the brand in 2017, and it's still an independent brand. So I think we're getting out of this that a lot of K-beauty brands are owned by bigger companies, but there's still a lot of them that are small and independent, and I want to support them. And last but not least for today's video, and if you like this video, let me know. If you didn't like it, let me know, because I can certainly do a J-Beauty edition, an Australian version, US version, yeah. Last but not least, Neogen Dermology. I love a lot of their stuff. A lot of their stuff is too scented for me, but a lot of it's great. It actually was at Sephora for a while. So this is owned by a company called Isnt Futures, which is sold on the Korean public traded companies list. So it's divided amongst several different shareholders. It was founded in 2000 by the CEO of Isnt Futures, who initially started their cosmetics career working for More Pacific. They really wanted a smaller brand to launch under the More Pacific name, but that doesn't sound like it ever came to fruition there, so it sounded like they left to start their own brand. And it's interesting, so in addition to making all the Neogen products, Isnt Futures also manufactures a lot of products for other competing brands, such as A Today House, Innisfree, Dr. Jart, and other More Pacific brands. So it's kind of interesting that Neogen obviously is manufacturing stuff for themselves, but also for other brands. So kind of interesting. But yeah, so it comes down to it. There's a handful of brands that are still small and independent. There's a lot more other brands out there, but out of this list of just some of my favorite brands, I really want to focus on ones that are independent, smaller, and support them as much as possible. But I'm not going to give up my snail cream. So, and yeah. So anyway, if you're curious about any other brands, leave a comment below. Let me know your thoughts. Thanks so much, and I will see you guys more tomorrow. Okay, bye guys.